to Premium today to receive 800 Microsoft points from XRL Gamertag and join the ever-growing community. An ad-free forum with a members area and additional features such as extended private messaging limits. Every stream uploaded to members' forums from F1 to F5000 and XRL Classics. A custom signature on the XRL forum of your choice. All new setup lap guides from F1 drivers such as Velexity, F1 Nige and Mr. Ice Cold Andy. Monthly prize draws with big prizes from sponsors such as GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Pick the car you want next season with XRL Driver Priority. Premium members get to pick their car ahead of the driver draws. 10% off all store items and a free keyring when you sign up. So help support the league today and sign up for XRL Premium.
Hello and welcome here today. We are here in Malaysia for round 2 of the Tier 6 Championship in XRL. I'm joined by, once again, Cap Waiter.
Thank you very much, Speed. Hello and welcome, guys, as Speed said, to Tier 6. It's dry at the moment, which is a great surprise because of previous leagues or previous divisions in XRL this week. It has been raining at some point, and in comes Brutal Reapers, who is late for the qualifying show. So currently, some news that we need to tell you, to all our viewers, that Sloozy as F1 Speed. Oh no, sorry, don't worry.
Yeah.
I thought one of our drivers retired there, which of course is an automatic 10-second penalty, but it's my co-commentator who hasn't retired yet. So some sad news to report to you to all our viewers is that Sloozy, who raced in Australia, has decided not to continue racing in XRL for whatever reason. I will probably find out from him later on. So his replacement is Craig Senna. That will be his permanent replacement. Shrimpo in the Williams is also not racing tonight. He is being replaced by Craig Senna in the Williams for tonight, but then Craig Senna will be moved to a Sauber when Shrimpo comes back. So currently on the pole lap is a 135.8 by Flash Student in the Red Bull. Semper 3D is second, 3 tenths back. And then you have Nicholas Hamilton on a 36.3. Then you've got the 2 Ferraris, Elites ahead of Mayhems by 0.02 of a second so far. H. Pasty, Australia's winner, Australia's race winner, is in 6th at the moment. Then you've got NATO UK, Colonel Tomo, and Jism 75. I's the best, and Craig Senna have yet to set a lap.
I's the best is at the moment on a lap on the, I believe those are the prime tyres. So
is it the white or the orange?
And gone quite wide. It is the
Yeah,
orange, so yeah, priming it. And underneath my chair. How useful that is.
Colonel Tomo is the only one to be on the prime tyres as far as I'm aware. I haven't seen any other change yet. Colonel Tomo is still on the prime tyres. Currently trying to find some space on this lap. His current best is a 38.7, which is okay on the prime tyres. The primes are a lot more slower than the options. He's coming round the last corner now to start his lap. Well, no, he's going into the pits, so probably going to...
As you say that, I's the best has come on the last corner, gone wide on the last corner as well, actually, so any good lap is probably not screwed over, but he goes 7th. 137.6.
In fact, Jism is currently on the prime tyres as well. I'm now on board with Craig Senna, our new recruit in XRL in the Williams. He's on the option tyres. The lap looks pretty good at the moment, and it's very, very tidy. Hitting the apexes. Someone's hit the bollard off there, and what turn is that? Turn 11. We're now coming up to this tricky penultimate corner. You have to go wide on the exit, come in to try and hit the apex. He does that pretty well. Opens up the DRS. It's got about half a battery of KERS. Uses about half of his trainer, so he's got about a quarter left. Now coming into the last corner now. And misses the apex by a bit, but he needs to get the exit, mind the traction, open up the DRS, rest of the KERS, and it's going to be a 1:35.8. Puts him pole. 1:35.8. That puts him pole by 72 hundredths of a second over Flash Student. That is a pretty good pole lap. Damn, I'm glad I caught the end of that. So there we have. We've got 4 minutes left of this quali session. Craig Senna currently on pole. Flash Student second. IMW2 Elites has now moved up into third, ahead of the two Lotuses. Temper 3D ahead of Nicholas Hamilton. Then it's Mayhems and Asian Pasty. Front seven covered by just under a second, so that's pretty good. I's the best.
And here comes Pasty as well. Last corner, I'm not sure exactly. I think he is on a lap. Yeah, he is. Coming on the last corner on the option to finish off his lap. Where's that? He's gonna put him there.
Oh, he goes pole.
Dino goes pole with a 1:35.
By half a second. Yeah, this Pasty's got some pace. Pasty's got some pace around him. Remember, he was the previous race winner from Australia. I did have a few interviews with the drivers this morning about what their chances are on this track. Pasty said his chances are pretty good, as Craig Senna has now retired.
Oh no!
Oh, he is not.
Rookie mistake.
He has not read the he's not read the rules very carefully, which clearly state if you retire in qualifying, that is a 10-second penalty. He will probably say that he hasn't read them all.
Onto this race.
But
is it added onto this race or next?
It's added on to this or next. I think this next race. I'm not sure, but it's this race. It's this race. So he has a 10-second penalty already on there, which is a shame. But that is one thing which we stress to everybody that wants to join XRL. You must read every single bit of the rules. It is a long page, and it's quite tedious to read through them all, but it is essential. As Temper 3D has now gone second, has bumped Craig Senna down to third. Third place is still a good position for him on his debut in XRL in his first race. So, yeah, not too bad. Yeah, back to the interviews. Pasty, I had a word with Pasty this morning. He said his chances are pretty good around this track. He does like it very well. That is evident on his lap time, almost half a second in front of everybody else. So I'm now going to spectate somebody. We've got a minute 47 left. And Pasty...
I don't think Temper's going to get back out in
Pasty's
time.
gone into the pits, so I think that's the end of his run. Temper 3D is also in the pits. He's not going to get out in time. You've got Jism. Jism's on the prime tyres. He's 5th place on a 36.1. That's pretty good considering it's the primes. So we've got a minute 22 left. We've got I's the best now, currently running in 10th place. He wants to be up a little bit higher than that. He did say to me he didn't like the track, but he thought a 35 lap was possible. So we're now on board now, going through turn 2. Nicely hit the apex there. He's going to use a bit of his KERS, and he's not using any around this corner. I normally use it, but that's just personal preference. As we now go into turn 4, very easy to go over the KERS, but he's done away. He's gone a little bit wide in the tracks now. This is the best bit of the whole track for the fast left and right. You've got to hold it. 5th place, he lifted off just a little bit. Made confidence in the car. Down to 4th gear. Clipped both apexes as a double right-hander. Now he's coming to the end of the second sector. He's got a car ahead of him. I think that's one of the Mercedes. Hope that doesn't hamper his lap. He goes round the hairpin. That's another tricky corner there. He's coming very close to that Mercedes. And Colonel Tomo. I hope it doesn't hamper his lap. So we now go through the fast left and right hand. In fact, that Mercedes, if he's not on a lap, he's not going to make it in time as he throws up dust in front of Eyes the Best's face as he now goes onto the back straight, and the session has now ended. So these are the last two people on the lap. So Eyes the Best is coming round the last corner now, and it's going to improve his time. But where's he going to put him? Puts him fourth. Puts him P4. So that was a good last-ditch effort. But there you go. There's the qualifying session. Asian Pasty, just under half a second clear. Temper 3D in second, and Senna in third. Eyes the Best fourth. Flash Student fifth. Jism sixth. Elites, then Hamilton. Mayhems, and I missed the last person in 10th, but interesting quali. So Pasty, did he get pole last time? I don't think he did.
No, he didn't. Flash Student did.
Flash Student. So Red Bull, so that's the second Red Bull pole position. You do not want to be saying that on a regular basis, thank you very much. I don't particularly like the Red Bulls, but right, so now we're going to go to F1 Speed, who has got a little video to do the highlights from last week's race. So you're going to put that on?
Yes, then I'm going to put that on now for you.
Bullseye.
Opportunistic overtake, the McLaren tried to fight back. And the Red Bull again has gone wide.
Oh, and
it was brutal. Around the outside of the turn one, this is great. Oh.
to McLaren's.
I'm just going to go through the grids before we get going. So we've got Asian Pasty in Red Bull first, Temper 3D in the Lotus second, Second row is Craig Senna and the Williams on his debut. Eyes the Best in the McLaren in fourth. Then you've got Flash Student, the second of the Red Bulls in fifth. Gism in the Sauber sixth. IMW2 Elite seventh in the Ferrari. Nicholas Hamilton, a little bit less lower down than he was in Australia. He's down in eighth. Mayhems in the second Ferrari ninth. Kerman Thomas and Mercedes 10th. NATO UK 11th. And Brutal Reapers has joined us in the second McLaren. So we're going to have 12 drivers here for Malaysia. I'm just going to go into... And I am back. And news from the weather forecast is that it's 44% chance of rain in the race, but it's a dry start. So here is the question as the drivers go onto the grid right now. What strategy are you going to go on? Of course, you're going to have to start on the tyres that you started off with, but if it rains really late on in the race, I think the only ones, if I'm correct, that are in the driving seat, no pun intended, is the guys on the prime tyres. Because if they last their tyres out to the rain, there's one less stop. So we're now going to go out onto the grid. Right, so I'm ahead of Reapers, which is a problem, so I'm going to go dart straight to the left. You dart straight to the right.
I can just diet.
And 5 lights. We are away in Malaysia, round 2 for Tier 6. We go down straight into the first corner. It's a good start by Pasty, but you've got Nicholas. Is that Temper 3D? No, Temper 3D trying to go on the outside. McLaren through the middle. Temper trying right round the outside to gain the lead. Few bit of contact through the midfield, but Temper's still trying to go for it, but Pasty cuts his nose off, but regains the lead. You got Senna and the McLaren. We got a flying Red Bull by the looks of it. They're cheating once again. We got the Lotus and Temper 3D in second. That is, I believe, Eyes the Best. Gone into third, and the other Red Bull, I think he cut right across turn 4 to gain an advantage of Craig Senna. I might have to review that a little bit later on, but he's now up into 4th place. You've got Senna, who's down to 5th. And is that one of the Lotuses behind him? Oh, he's got a tap from the Lotus of Hamilton, I believe that is. I think Hamilton's broken a little bit of his front wing, so a very tight midfield going on straight on. Hamilton misses his braking point by a mile. One of the Ferraris as well. There's lag going on. Going on. And Senna goes across the corner there, takes out the bollard. There's a shaky start by the debutant. There's Pasty that leads as they go on to the back straight. That's the McLaren diving up the inside of the Ferrari, forcing him wide there. We've got Scrappy driving by the drivers in the midfield. Nobody taking any prisoners here. Going to go back into the Ferraris. Gism is sick on the prime tyres. Stay out of trouble is Brutal Reapers. Remember, started at the back. He didn't qualify. He made contact with... Let's see who that was.
He's flying with
it's Mayhem. Right, yeah, he made a little bit of contact into the penultimate corner, forced the Ferrari wide, and now Mayhems is defending the inside line from Reapers, but Reapers tried to go for the cutback, couldn't make it stick, so Mayhems has stayed in that 7th place. And ahead, we've got a battle, this Gism ahead, trying to get by Craig Senna, so going to turn 4. Craig Senna going a little bit over the curbs there. Remember, we'll be looking at corner cutting and track extending, as well as all the divisions that were viewed within the same purpose. You do it too often, you're going to get a penalty as Gism goes wide, as I say. They've got a free car scrap for second ahead. Again, tight battles throughout the field. And it's Temper diving up the inside of Eyes the Best. A little bit of contact there. But nothing too major. You've got Flash Student who's watching the pair of them, trying to thread his way through to make it a Red Bull 1-2. It's Pasty that has gained about 1.5 to 2 second gap already at the end of lap 2. As now Flash Student was looking to the inside of Temper, goes wide. Flash Student capitalizes into third place. It's that penultimate corner. It's going to catch out a load of drivers. System still behind Craig Senna at the moment. Senna locks up his front tyres there. Leads behind Temper 3D, that is. In fact, Senna, yeah, he's gonna have a look on the inside and on board with Jism having a look at this. Senna diving up on the inside to get on the inside line.
Flash Student's done the same thing as well.
Flash Student's done the same thing. Eyes the best. Craig Senna still side by side with Temper 3D. They're still side by side, going through turn 3. I'm still on board with Jism, who doesn't know which way to go. They're now coming up into turn 4. It's Williams and Senna up on the inside. They're still side by side. They're coming up into turn 5. This is brilliant driving between the pair of them. Surely someone's going to have to yield as they go into here. No, they're still a little bit of contact there. Senna and Temper 3D, that was always going to happen. They were going side by side for about 5-6 corners there. And it is ended in a little bit of tears. And Jism has now taken advantage of that. Temper 3D might be a little bit somebody meantime. I haven't noticed after all this battling, somebody, I don't know whether he's pitted or something like that. Kind of had a drive through because it's not unrealistic. I want to see who that is.
At the back down there. It could be Colonel Tomo. He had a poor start.
No, it's Mayhem. It's Mayhem. In fact, there are a load of people that got 10-second penalties. Reapers has got a 10-second penalty, as has Elites in the Ferrari. So already we got some penalties to look at. Whether they take them off or not remains to be seen. Pasty still leads. We've got Flash Student, who has now moved into second place, dived up on the inside of Eyes the Best. He's now made a Rebel 1-2, but Eyes the Best trying to get the contact being made. He's trying to get the cutback. Meanwhile, Jism behind is trying to have a go at Craig Senna, but we're looking at Flash Student side by side of Eyes the Best. Coming up into turn 4. We saw this with Temper and Senna, but Eyes the Best makes it round the outside there into turn 4. He had the better line and the better traction, so he keeps second place, but only just. He is under a lot of pressure by the Red Bull driver, who hasn't used any curves on his lap, so he can probably attack going into the next point, but he had to take a void in action as Eyes the Best decided to brake a little bit early there. Craig Senna is now in 4th. And Jism, again, is on those prime tyres. Remember the rain? Well, they don't know whether the rain is certainly going to come or not. But there's 44% chance we're going to take that chance. So it looks to me like a 4- or 5-way battle. As behind Jism, we've now got a battle for 6th place between, must be Brutal Reapers. Yeah, Reapers up there in 7th mode, but he started at the back, so he's making a little bit of a comeback. He's got a 10-second penalty over him. So he's got to carry on nonetheless. As somebody made a mistake in the background, but Reapers uses the DRS to great effect against Temper 3D. But the one thing he's forgotten about is the second detection point. But 3D got horrible traction coming out the last corner, so he's not going to get anything. Maybe he's a little bit too far back. Meanwhile, ahead, I'm looking ahead to Senna.
Flash Student.
Oh, Senna, a little bit of contact with Jism.
And Senna, yeah.
Eyes the Best and Flash Student getting onto the grass there. There's a 4-car battle here. Jism looking on the outside of Craig Senna. Eyes the Best has now got a little bit of gap ahead of these. And Senna, on his debut, is right in the middle of it. Has to be said. And we've had a few wheel bang and a few issues that we probably need to have a look at after the race. A good race so far. It's Senna now on the back of, and was it Flash Student went wide, and Senna diving up on the inside. Whether that was going across the curbs, and he let the back through there. I think Flash Student went a little bit wide on the first bit, and meanwhile Jism, I'm on board Jism at the moment. He's, again, trying to figure out where to put his car, when to attack, when to brake. Brutal Reapers, meantime, has moved into 6th place. Behind, yeah, we did see that. So, let's have a little race recap.
I believe that it's going to rain from lap 22 to the end.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. If anybody's watching on the stream, when do you think meanwhile, that's Ice the Best and Flash Student and Craig Senna all pitting at the same time. They're on the option tyres. They've only gone to lap 5.
And more.
I'm on board with Craig Senna now. Who's going to be out ahead at the end of this? Ice the Best pitted first, and then also one of the Lotuses is pitting. Ice the Best comes onto primes. He's still ahead of Flash Student. And no, there's no change in the order as they come out nose to tail. But Ice the Best has gone onto primes, as has Flash Student. Craig Senna has gone onto options. Ooh, now if the rain comes a little bit earlier than what you say, lap 22, that might be a good call. If the rain comes later, that might come back to haunt him, but he needs to get past these two in front. He's down into 8th place now. As Temper 3D was the Lotus that pitted. He's onto option tyres. Elite, meantime, is in 10th place on the primes. Don't believe he's pitted yet. Colonel Tomo on the options. And there's It's Mayhems, who I don't know whether he must have pitted already. He must have had some contact somewhere, which we missed. Pasty is leading the race, coming on to.
Whoa, Hamilton is having the worst time ever there. His tyres are absolutely ruined. And I think it's just a little bit. None of the people on options right now that have not been.
Oh, yeah, Hamilton and the Mercedes behind him. I think that might have been NATO. Yeah, NATO UK. The guys on the options, they are struggling. And Pasty, the race leader, has pitted, which means Jism on the prime tyres, remember, has now taken the lead.
One Pasty has gone on to
Reapers on the options is still out, but everybody else is struggling. He's on lap 7 on the option tyres. Is that going to hamper him, or does he know that the rain is going to come in about 5-10 minutes time?
Wait, is that
Reapers?
Reapers?
Reapers, still on the option tyres.
Well, he's on fresh, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I forget about that. He did not take part in qualifying. He was late for the show, so he started on the fresh option tyres. But still, lap 7, a little bit longer. Jism, meantime, has now taken the lead. He's on the prime tyres. They look a bit marbly, if that is even a word, and he's losing a little bit of grip there.
It is.
Going into the double right-hander, so maybe this race ain't over yet. But it isn't over yet. We're only on lap 7.
Hamilton pitted for some prime tyres, and Nato pitted for some options. So there are different strategies going down the whole grid here, but the two Lotuses seem to be on the same.
Flash Student, meanwhile, I've just realised, has gone onto the prime tyres. He's currently in 6th place. Wait, Flash Student, wasn't he ahead of...
Wait, whoa. Yeah, he's been passed by Senna.
He's been passed by Senna. I know it's the best. He was ahead. He must have made a mistake going on.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was ahead of these guys. So he's now down into 6th.
Jism's pitted.
Jism has pitted on primes. Isn't that early for primes? Yeah, because he's pitted at the same time as Brutal Reapers. Remember, Reapers was on fresh options, but Jism was on the primes. Maybe the primes were not good for him, as Pasty has now retaken the lead. Where is Jism going to come out? I've just looked at his car. He's going to come out 5th, just behind Flash Student. Yeah, Student managed to get ahead of Jism. So Jism is now in 5th place. He's now got onto fresh primes. Am I right in saying if it rains, you don't have to use 2 sets? Yeah.
Compounds. Yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking for a second. If he's used primes and then it rains, then he hasn't used the options yet. But maybe that is strategic. He's just.
How many times did he use in quali? Is the question. How many
You
times
get
did he,
5
decide
before
he
you
wants
get
to go
5
for
sets
more?
of primes anyway. There's only 3 sets of wets you need to worry about.
Yeah, but
And there's a battle.
depending if he did like
There's
3
a battle
sets,
going.
say for every
There's a
pick.
battle going on for 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Going to see who that is. Pasti leads the race by, well, I'd say about 2 seconds-ish. And it is Ice the best. It wasn't really a battle, they're just a little bit close. And now, as the cars have spread out a bit and it has calmed down, I am now going to take my duties from looking on track extending and corner cutting, which every steward has to do in XRL. So I will be back around about the lap 16, 17 mark. I will hand over commentary duties to F1 Speed.
Which needs to sneeze, whether. Oh, I got that feeling where you need to sneeze. Oh, it's really annoying. Right. So now, how many laps can Mr. Craig Senna do on those options? He runs a little bit wide there. And hang on, behind him there's battle forming between Jism on fresh primes and, well, Flash is on fresh primes, so Jism's on a lap or 2 fresher, so that's the difference there as he runs a little bit wide. But, well, Craig doesn't seem to be struggling. He pitted on laps
5.
7 or 6, lap 5, or no, lap 5. 4 laps. Oh, he's going to be struggling around about now if he struggled beforehand. So will he start to fall back into the clutches of Flash Student and Jism, which are now getting even closer for corner? So it's going to begin soon as Flash Student makes a mistake. Jism has now got the run on him. He's going to have to wait for DRS, or is he going to try and make the move here? He thinks about it, he's gone wide of doing so, so it's going to mess up a little bit. But he seems to just completely have better traction than Flash Student. He has DRS as well now, and he's sticking behind him. He's trying to figure out which side to go into the hairpin. He's going to go to the outside. I'm not sure if he's backing out, or Flash Student just has better straight line speed, even with DRS for Jism. But he's waited until, well, he's not the best of times in the last corner, but he's still half as curves the tank, and he's gone for it. Up the inside on the home straight, he brakes nicely, big lock up, going a little bit wide, but I think he may just have it, a little contact to him and Flash Student, but I believe Jism has now got it into 4th. So only a few lap fresher tyres, but it seems to make a bit of a difference as Jism now up to 4th. Flash Student's going to try and come back at him at turn 4. Not managing to do anything about it. So Jism up 4th and now trying to hunt down the Craig Senna, which is on those nicely oldish options, which are going to wear out around about now to lap 12 probably. See how long he can last on those. Of course, he's not really losing time to Eyes the best, but you never know. Of course, Jism seems to be flying on those new sets of primes, and then he's got one capacity which isn't really flying away either. The gap is staying the same to him and Eyes the best, but Jism is definitely closing on Craig Senna and definitely pulling away from Flash Student. And I think Craig, you coming in this lap? No, you're just locking up loads even more, and that is definitely closing the gap by Jism. He's definitely coming for him. And a battle behind for 6th place. We've got Temper, 3D, and I'm guessing this is Brutal Reapers. It is. He's on the options. When did he pit? He only pitted lap 7, so yeah, quite nice tyres at the moment. And all braking, nice, no contact at the moment. Oh, a little bit of a correction in the corner there. There's a bollard just sitting in the middle of the road there. He's Temper 3D and has to hit it out of the way. So these two are going to get close. Even if Reapers really passes, he's not going to get. But quite a few laps. Oh, nearly hitting the back of him. A little bit of a misbraking there. Luckily, not hitting the back of 3D. That would have really upset Temper and had made him go bad temper. We don't want that. He is in 6th at the moment. He did very well last week, and I think everyone right now is trying to sort of wait for the rain. His route goes a little bit wide there. It's not going to help at all. And I believe Pasty's actually been really caught up in the lead now between him and Eyes the Best, but these are closer at the moment. Saying that, they might not be in this corner. I think Pasty might be struggling. I'll come back to
Eyes
this
the
in a
Best has got
second.
DRS.
There you go, that's how close they are. Definitely want to see this. Now, I wonder why Pasty's. Oh, Pasty's on options. Oh, that was lovely. That was really lovely there. So, Pasty being on options, his tyres are obviously starting to go, but Craig Senna in 3rd stays out on his lovely old tyres. And here's Eyes the Best with DRS. There's Pasty defending now, coming back on the braking zone as he's allowed. Eyes the Best is going to try and go around the outside the whole way. It's not going to work. He's going to try maybe a cut lane. It goes again, trying to find a way around the outside, and it hasn't worked there. Maybe next lap or the lap after, unless he can get close enough in the 2nd sector to maybe jump up the inside somewhere, but not into turn 4. So further back, I believe that battle between who was now Temper, 3D, and Brutal Reapers begun, and I believe Reapers is going to be passed on turn 4. But behind these two in the lead, we have got Senna now on those old options. He's braking quite early there, so he's really gone. He's having to struggling definitely mid-corner grip as well. He's gone. Chisholm is backing off. He's really backing off there. He's waiting for DRS obviously, which in this situation is kind of pointless because he's got absolutely no grip. Going throw up the inside and again backing out of it. You're going to have to make the move some way. Look at it, he's gone off. Craig has gone off into the gravel. 2 in the gravel. Not going to like that. Chisholm will take 3rd. He was being very cautious there, Chisholm, but really he was always going to pass. And now with the lead battle. Wow, what are you doing? Eyes the Best has gone for the outside round. The hairpin, the last corner, that was very weird. Something, oh, and it's because Pasty decides to pit, so that was very touch and go there, very, very close. As Eyes the Best now goes into the lead of this race, and I believe the. No, he's not. Here we go, and someone else has pitted in, and I believe that's going to be Senna. And let me guess, did he have a nice close one with the car he was battling with?
Yeah, he was basically flushed and basically. Anyway, you got 3D and then a McLaren close to one another, 4th and 5th.
Oh, here we go. Oh, McLaren!
Oh, that was close.
Taps him. As long as you make sure you stay. Oh, he's really not
clean, guys.
liking this.
Keep it clean.
Yeah, they're really not liking this. As Pasty comes out behind this battle, so that's not going to help him in any way with time-wise. As we now view Reapers is still over the back of these guys, I think. Oh, there goes Reapers! Launching up the inside. Temper's going to come back at him, and there's also Pasty. Watch out for Pasty, and a little bit of contact into the long left-hander going into the right, side by side. It's not going to work. Here comes Pasty. Oh no, and Pasty's taking Temper.
Didn't collide with him, did he? He just passed him.
Wow. No, he just did a lovely pass. He's got even more grip now. He's a little bit of tapping. He's got so much more grip than Brutal Reapers. He's going to go around the outside of it. Yes, he is. No contact needed. But whoa, look at that loss of grip there. And the other Lotus has decided to join into this battle. Wow, that just shows how much more grip the fresh rubber has than these old lovely tyres. And now the 2 Lotuses are going to be battling Temper versus Hamilton. Is it a race to the pits? And oh, it gets very close and Hamilton's gone off. Teammates, and that was as close as you want to get. You don't want to hit each other, so instead taking avoidant action and going off the track is probably better. And someone's in the pits, but here comes the Lotus side by side into the last corner. Which one's going to pit? Neither. But Reapers does. Reapers pit instead. One of these is going to need it. There's Reapers up in the pit there. And again into turn 1.
Lotus is going into turn 1.
For 5th.
Oh, that was Mark Webber. Vesselwest. Oh, 3D's gone off.
Oh, he's gone off.
Oh,
Temper's gone straight on. Oh, wow. Wow, that was...
Was it Temper that was forced to the wall? That was a little bit... Oh, he's going to be...
he had a lot of room, but he decided that he was going to make a very sharp
turn on the
and
inside.
he
Got Senna. Senna was going to capitalise, trying to take back 6th place. Oh, he went over the curbs there. He's got to give the position back. But he isn't.
And it doesn't seem like he's going to... is he on fresh? He's on fresh rubber as well, so he's gone. Wow, that got exciting and very close between teammates even. Obviously, no team orders in XRL. Definitely for Lotus.
Remember in Australia, the two in the last lap, Hamilton getting his way over Temper. And
it happened
again here, but that was would you say that was a little bit forceful? A little bit rude at the same time?
No, he went to the place where he went to defend, and then it seemed there was enough room for Temper, but I think Temper just didn't see it coming, and he went powering up the inside. Then he missed his brake because he obviously was a bit shocked himself, but I'll probably look at it again after the race and see if more room, but there was enough room, I believe. If there wasn't, then we'll see. But people are in the pits, and it's Flash Student is in the pits, and also I believe a Lotus should be, and it is Nicholas Hamilton is in the pits, but also Temper 3D is in the pits. So Lotus going for a double stop, and it has worked. Well, beautifully worked. Oh wow, that couldn't have been more close. He drove through the jack. It worked. He drove through the jack, man.
A bit of an F1 glitch by
jack, man. That was yeah, that was brilliant. That guy got run over. If he in real life, he would have been knocked on the floor. But here he just misses out from getting. He gets passed by the Mercedes there by. I'm guessing that's Nato. Is it Nato? It is Nato. So Nato having a nice calm race. Now up to 8th.
There's a battle going on for 8th and 9th by the looks of it. That's the Temper and NATO. I think it's Temper and NATO.
And we have a battle for 2nd between Eyes the Best and Pasty.
Right, you have a look at Pasty. I'll have a look at NATO and Temper. See what goes on here.
Right, DRS for Eyes the Best. Where's he going to go this time? Last time he went round the outside. This time he's following. He's going up the inside. Comes back across the track, giving enough room for Pasty, which is going to have DRS this time. But I think he dipped a wheel in the gravel. Sharky comes online. Sadly, you missed it, mate. And that means Eyes the Best is actually going to, I think, keep it here. Yeah, no, here comes Pasty. Thinking about it. No, he decides not to. Luckily, there is Sharky.
He's going to stay for a while. Meantime, you got NATO, Temper 3D. NATO made a mistake on the penultimate corner. Temper's alongside. They're side by side going into the last corner here. Sorry to cut you off, but there's two interesting battles going on here. One at the back, one at the front. NATO's back up on the inside, but Temper's going to have a look. We've got the Mercedes behind as well of Colonel Tomo fighting for the last point. Temper dives up on the inside to grab 8th, but is he going to keep the position? I think he is.
I saw rain.
Few bits of rain.
Gonna emphasise this. Rain.
Yeah, few bits of rain going on.
Rain.
Right, that's the end of my track extending bit. So can you have a look at that from now on? And I will resume commentary position now as Temper 3D takes over to 8th place, but we have rain going on mainly in the middle sector. So these guys now, they've got to decide when is the right time to go on inters and maybe the wets as elites, IMW2 elites, as the rain is now coming down even heavier in the 3rd sector. It seems as we're going around the lap as elites goes wide and lags back onto the track. That's interesting to see. We've got a pit, somebody's pitting. That's Jism. Can't be for inters. Can't be for inters already. The track is way too dry.
I'll find out. He's going on to options.
Possibly the best choice until the track comes wet enough, as we now have a battle for the lead. It is Pasty and Eyes the Best. We're now in damp conditions. Well, it's not really damp. It's sprinkling sprinklers condition. The track's not really wet enough yet, but it's still going to be tricky for these two drivers as they're now fighting for the lead. Craig Senna is a little bit further back in third place, but this is the big battle here now until the rain comes, which will probably mix up the field. We've still got 11 laps to go in this race, as Sharky has now sent me a message. I will go and have a look for that. Invite, please.
Yes.
You can invite him if you want. I'm having a look at the battle still raging between these two drivers at the first and second. Asian Pasty, remember, race winner of Australia, Eyes the Best, fourth place. So the McLaren driver wants to gain some points over Pasty before Pasty can get away. He's going to be under DRS section. He doesn't want to turn in too early. Evening, Sharky. A little bit too late.
No, we're having a bit of trouble with the car in the garage. What it was is just before qualifying, the engine blew.
Oh, sorry to cut you off, Sharky, but we got Eyes the Best hit the back of Pasty there, going to the final corner. Sorry to cut you off there, still trying to do commentating here. So, yeah, sorry you couldn't join the race. Anyone some troubles with the car, you were saying?
Yeah, there's troubles with the car. Team are fixing it. Everything should be fine for Bahrain. Actually, no, it's China next.
Yeah, it's China next. China next week.
Everything should be fine for China.
Right, that's perfectly fine. And you might want to help us with some stewarding duties if you want. Have a look at any incidents that we may miss. Meanwhile, back on the lead too, Eyes the Best had tried to have a look up on the inside. The rain is now intensifying on the track. We've still got 10 laps to go as we now, Red Bull again flying on my screen, using more and more techniques to try and gain some extra speed, it seems. This is the closest battle on track so far, unless people make some wrong decisions with the tyres.
We do have Colonel Tomo in the pits at the moment. He's just exiting the pits.
He's fighting for the last point with Mayhems, I believe. Mayhems, one of Ferrari's, as now Pasty has made a little bit of a mistake on a penultimate corner. Eyes the Best has got a much better drive going onto it. Still got DRS. We are in very damp conditions now, but he still dies up on the inside. Look at the overspeed. Straight up on the inside. Takes the lead. Can he make it stop into the final corner? Both of them still not pitting yet for intermediate tyres. And now Pasty is going to have Pasty's going to have DRS for this straight. And is he going to have enough? He's going to have a go up on the inside. He does indeed. Can Eyes the Best make the cut back? Pasty, they're now side by side going into turn 2. And Eyes the Best cutting a little bit of contact, cutting across Pasty's nose there. And we've got a few people pitting, maybe for intermediate tyres. Can you check that out for me, please?
It will be Inters on lap 22, like I said, but people are pitting beforehand.
That's someone down in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th that's just pitted. And I do see some spray coming off of the front too. Meanwhile, there's also a battle going on.
Brutal. It's Reapers on Inters,
the first one going on to Inters. There is spray coming off the tyres.
No,
Here's we now got a battle for the lead, and we've got the battle for third place, and it's Jism who's got a much better drive, going out the double right hand. He's going up on the inside of the hairpin on Craig Senna. Can Craig Senna give him the room? Can they both give each other room? They're going side by side up to the corner. These drivers are Jism still trying to go on the outside. Kenny's no way, but right round the outside in that tricky corner at the beginning of sector 3. Can't think what number turn that was, but right round the outside in damp conditions. Nomination for overtake of the week if you've got that speed, because that was pretty good. And now Senna's got the DRS, but he's way too far back. And now surely these guys are going to pit for Inters, and the leader hasn't. So who hasn't pitted? It's
Jism decides to at the last second, and he's gonna make a spinning, and there goes Senna through.
Oh, did he slide on his way into the pits?
Yeah, he slid on his way in. It's a nice save.
Out the two leaders that have decided to pit on Inters, which means which again obviously means that Eyes the Best has not pitted for wet tyres. Is that a hero or zero manoeuvre? Because as you can see, the conditions are getting very, very tricky. So Pasty has made the switch. Wait, Senna's on prime.
Yeah.
Senna's on primes. Is that an error?
Wow,
That
that's
is
a
another
rookie
rookie error by
mistake.
Craig Senna. Here's his debutant. Despite his pace, he's making some mistakes. He's now on the prime tyres. That is clearly not the right tyre in his conditions. And Jism, once he gets his tyres up to temperature, is going to slide his way past.
The Lotuses has they done a double pit stop again, and it worked perfectly again. So 2 times this race.
There's Brutal Reapers. He's now in 6th place on the Inters. So his teammate Eyes the Best, NATO UK, is on prime tyres, still on dries. Why are people still on dries and some are on Inters? Or maybe it's a 50-50.
It's still a dryish
It's
line.
a dryish line, but I'm on board of Hamilton. He's going to make mincemeat of NATO UK, who's jumping about all over the place, losing so much grip as Hamilton goes wide at the double right-hander. But surely he's going to make the move quite soon.
Eyes the Best is in.
Eyes the Best is in, but is that late enough? Is he going to be out ahead of Pasty, or is he going to be out about the same as Hamilton? He's going to try and make an outside, but oh, there's contact! Contact, and Hamilton spun round. There's a side pod glitch there, but that has ruined his race. I'm not really sure about that because, well, we have to think about it after the race. As the leaders are coming into turn 1, as Pasty has got ahead of the McLaren of Eyes the Best.
Eyes the Best. I got a team radio message just then when I clicked onto Nato telling him to pit for Inters. It's the correct tyre to be on. Obviously, it is now, as most grid is on it.
Did have a coming together with Nicholas Hamilton, half spun the Lotus driver. That's going to ruin his race. So Pasty has now taken the lead. So Reapers, I don't know why he stayed out onto the dry tyres a lap earlier, or maybe his Inters can last to the end. Can intermediate tyres last 7 laps? Which we saw in F1 or GP2, that their wet tyres did not last at all in their race. So can Inters last? The Pasty is just ahead of Eyes the Best. You've got Senna now, who's right behind Jism.
He's now out of 4th. He's still on the primes. He just went off, so they're the one. He's obviously got to wait for the wets now because of that mistake.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I would just pit for intermediates on this. He's now got Flash Student right behind him, and it's really unfortunate to see. It's really unlucky to see for Craig Senna because he's had the pace to be, as we have someone off in turn 1, one of the back markers. I hope he doesn't get Senna has now pitted. The leaders are now fighting for first place. Jism's now into 3rd, Flash Student's into 4th, and it's Eyes the Best, who, I don't know, maybe him staying out on the dry tyres.
Oh, it's Mayhem. Mayhem is off, and he is completely in the wall. He is the car that you were on about. He is still on the options.
Is he on options? Why are people still on the dry tyres? It's wet. God. I mean, I can rant later on, but clearly not making the right decisions going on. But this is the closest battle, the closest important battle. It is for the lead. We're on lap 22 of 28, and always a 50%.
Oh, he's off again.
He's just on the right tyres. Please, Mayhems. I'm sorry to go on about it, but gosh, you can see everybody on Inters just get on the Inters at the same time. It's not really enough of a gamble. Meanwhile, Eyes the Best. He's now got a full bar of KERS. He hasn't used any of it, and he's now coming right up behind Asian Pasty for the lead. Can he get a... Oh, no, penultimate corner, messed up a bit on the exit. And Pasty's got away, but he's now using half a bar of KERS. That McLaren has got a little bit more straight line speed on the Red Bull. And again, he got not very good on traction, good on front speed. Maybe he's got a low downforce setting. Oh, sector 3. I saw two cars going through the fast left and right there, close together. Is that Mayhem still in the mid-pack there? Guy's the best. He's still... Mayhem's off again in the penultimate corner by the looks of it. Now falling, I would think about 2 laps down. But anyway, we're focused back on the leader, still Pasty. The Australian race winner is Eyes the Best. Still can't get enough traction on those intermediate tyres. Asian Pasty with the race win last time out in Australia. Eyes the Best picked up a 4th. It was still good for the McLaren driver. But I did speak to him earlier. He wants to be in the top 2 by the end of the championship season. So obviously he would want to not let Pasty get away with some of the championship points. Still 5 laps to go. Now going to have a look who's got the fastest lap. It is Eyes the Best on a 37.3. 6 tenths quicker, no, 3 tenths quicker than the person he's chasing. So currently you got 6 laps to go. Asian Pasty just ahead of Eyes the Best. Jism is 3rd. Flash Student in 4th. So the Red Bulls still good result for them. Brutal Reaper's 5th. Craig said on his debut is in 6th. And then you got Hamilton. Once again, he's ahead of Tempers. He's shown who's boss in that Lotus team, but they're lower down than them.
Mayhem is on full
Mayhem's on full wets.
He is not working.
Oh,
And he spun round turn 2. He's gone right round.
I just seen that my green is on the turn 1. He just spun round. It's just gone from bad to worse for Mayhem's and the Ferrari, unfortunately. And the leaders are coming through.
Here come the leaders as well.
Is he going to get out of the way?
Oh god. Oh no. Oh please do.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he has.
He's gone well out of the way. That's good driving. There's Pasty. He's under a bit of pressure, I would think, under the McLaren, by the McLaren driver, Eyes the Best. Where did Eyes the Best start? He started in 4th. The biggest game so far is Brutal Reapers, who does have a 10-second penalty on him, but he started in 14th. He's up into 5th.
Ooh.
Oh, what's going on there?
Eyes the Best went off. Eyes the Best went a bit wide. It cost him a lot of time.
Probably the dirty, yeah.
He had to get off the throttle and slow it down a little bit just to make sure he didn't go too wide.
Mayhem's stuck in the front. No, he's letting everybody else through. Oh, Jesus.
Big trouble for Mayhem there. Definitely enters. It's not wet, so
Needs to be on the right time. Meanwhile, Pasty has made a mistake on the ultimate goal. So is Eyes the Best. Maybe the Inters, either they're wearing out or they're not the right time. Maybe, I don't know, full wets isn't the answer because Mayhem's is showing that. But
I think they're just running out of grip and need fresh ones.
Maybe it's the fact they want a dry setup. A gamble for quali, possibly. They're stuck in the 142s at the moment. This is the closest battle on track. Everybody else is spread out. 3 laps to go in this race. Eyes the Best. He's been battling with the Red Bull driver for pretty much the last third of the Grand Prix. He's had a couple of opportunities to try and take the lead permanently from him. But now he's got to think to himself, where is he faster on the track? He's going to have to wait for his curves. He has to use his curves just strategically to try and overtake. There's a little bit of battle going down in the field as, whoa, got a little bit of an incident going into the pit lane there. I think it's Mayhem's going in. I think he spun it.
Probably has. I'll just go find that out. I'm going to think it is probably Mayhem. It's Mayhem.
On the full wet. Someone ahead of him has pitted. I think that was. I know Tomo's on there.
It's the 2 Ferraris have stacked.
Jesus, that Scuderia.
It's car holding up Elites.
Oh my god.
Elites has been held up.
That Scuderia.
And
what's his name? What's his name at Ferrari? Luca de Montezemolo. Well, it's not him anymore. It's whatever his name is. They're not going to be happy in Italy. They're stacking up the 2 drivers in a wet race, and they're scrambling at the edge of points. It couldn't get any worse.
Yeah, they are.
You know, Eyes the Best is now
Fighting for a
pitted.
point,
Eyes the
and
Best
that's
is
not what you want.
pitted from second. Is he now got to go on the wets, or is he fresh inters? Oh no, he's
got to go
hit the
into,
wall.
he's got to.
He hit the wall as he pitted. I don't know what happened there, whether he lost concentration or just complete grip.
Jism is in.
He's on fresh inters.
Jism is also
He's
in.
on fresh inters, and they didn't change the front wing, so maybe that was a little bit of a glitch. So Jism is in,
Trying not to cost time.
which means somebody has gone through into second. I think that might be Craig Senna.
Oh god, Jism's gone on full wets. That's it. Jism's gone. He's gonna lose third. It's not full wets. Wrong choice by Jism. Sadly. Or can he keep on the track? Let's find out. Not really. Oh no, that's just unlucky for Jism. Done so well to.
I don't
Wrong
know why,
choice here.
I still don't know why Eyes the Best pitted for those.
Brutal Reapers has gone on to full wets as well. Oh, everyone's making the wrong
Maybe
choices.
it's the right choice. I'm not really sure. Because Pasty, a mumble with Pasty is on the inters right now. He's having a little bit of traction problems out of pretty much every corner.
No, it's not. Nicholas Hampton just bees past Brutal Reapers there. He's already pulled a second out on him. He just
Really struggling under these conditions. That's sure. Pasty is still bits of front wing and bollards scattered all over the place. And it's Flash Student, so it's a Red Bull 1-2 for now, but they got the McLaren of Eyes the Best, who's pitted for fresh inters, who's going to be right behind him now. If it's not, you know, fresh wets, he's really thrown away the chance of a victory. 2 laps to go. I don't think even if he stays out. No, Flash Student has pitted as well.
Oh, Flash has pitted. But Pasty hasn't, and I don't think he will. He's got enough of a gap and he's not losing much time.
It is.
Well, not enough
No,
time,
not enough
anyway.
time. Right, then away again. Flash Student pitted for fresh inters. Or has he pitted for wets?
No, he's gone for inters, so he's a
they
bit
pitted
late
for
though.
fresh inters. Oh, and Elite. Elite has lost connection with 2 laps to go. That's the same as Australia. He had 3 or 4 laps to go in Australia and he lost connection, but that is unfortunate for him. He was in 10th. He's going to pick up a point. He's for you first to speak to him because he's going to probably be raging in that cockpit, especially about the Ferrari stacking. But
yeah, he's not going to be too happy about that. Here comes Hampton has now gone around the outside.
oh, that's Mayhem's as well.
And now we've lost the other
That's
Ferrari.
Mayhem's as well, and
Whoa, what's
Hamilton's let
happened here?
Chisholm through.
Hamilton just he's let. Why has
Maybe
he done
he hit
that?
him. Maybe he hit him or something. Oh,
No, my.
Chisholm's on wet. He's losing
Now he's passed him.
positions, hands over fist. That's both Ferraris have lost connection. That is unfortunate for them.
Oh.
Chisholm, did his engineer say to go on wets? Because meanwhile, NATO UK now is going to grab the 6th. As Pasty is now on his penultimate lap, he's definitely got enough of a gap in front of Eyes the Best. Yeah, I'm on board with NATO UK. He's catching up to Jism. So NATO, well, this is the same. No, he got 7th in Australia, so he's probably going to say a 6th. Get a 6th.
Craig Senna is in 3rd on his debut at the moment.
I'm still on the board with NATO. He's just got to be patient here. Jism hasn't got the grip, and he dives right up on the inside. And contact made. Still contact was made there. NATO had dived up in the inside penultimate corner. Even though Jism didn't have the grip, they still made contact. We're now on to the final lap of this, well, topsy-turvy Grand Prix. A load of mistakes being made by the drivers, but it has been an entertaining one, especially at the start. As now Jism's going to lose, what is that, 7th place? 7th place to 10th place. He may even lose another position to Brutal Reapers. No, Reapers is on the yellows. Yellows.
He's on the wets. He's going in for he's going back in for inters. He has a lap to catch him, as now Jism has lost 7 to 10.
Yeah, you got yellow flags.
Look like
you got
a
yellow
podium.
flags going on in sector 2.
Someone's off, someone is off, and who is that? Who is that? Find out. Oh, there's a Red Bull. There's a Red Bull just sitting there, and I'm not sure who
That
it is.
might be.
And it's Flash Student. It's Flash Student.
Has he got going
He's
again?
just sitting there. It's like his back. He's got going. I think his battery's not
His
died.
batteries might have died, or that just
that is
meanwhile, Asian Pasty is coming round for the last corner. The McLaren driver did catch up I's the best by a lot, but it wasn't enough. Pasty takes the victory, and I's the best is going to take second, and here comes Craig Senna on his debut. I've said it so many times before, but it is
Battle for fifth.
quite surprising, as Craig Senna now going to get third. I'm now going to go for Hamilton in fourth, so it's about going on for fifth. It's Temper 3D.
Temper has taken fifth.
I think Temper was ahead.
He's just past NATO. He just took
fifth place.
NATO, and NATO's now lost it. Where's Flash shooting? Here comes Flash, which
He's
is
in
going
seventh.
a bit wide. And is NATO? What's NATO? Is NATO like?
Yeah, he's going up to the
quite
wall,
slow,
I think.
yeah.
I think it's just a hell of a relief, maybe. Jism is he's still trundling around on those wets. His current lap time is already a 1:44, and he's coming up to the last corner now. He'll be frustrated with himself for making the wrong decision, going on to wets, but he's going to pick up an 8th place. Reaper's made the same mistake as Jism, so he's going to pick up 9th. So he's been up and down this race. Remember, he started at the back without qualifying and went back down again. And then Colonel Tomo is going to pick up the last point for Mercedes. So there you have it. Malaysia provisional race results. Asian Pasty is first. I's the best second. Craig Senna third. Nicholas Hamilton fourth. Then Temper 3D. NATO UK fifth. NATO UK sixth, Flash Student. Don't know what happened to him at the end of the race. He was seventh. Jism eighth. Brutal Reapers ninth. Colonel Tomo picks up the last point. And both Ferraris, unfortunately, due to disconnections, did not score a point today.
So, second race in XRL and the second win for Asian Porn Pasty. But not with dominance.
Not with dominance, no.
I can tell you that for sure.
I's the best.
Maybe
nearly
next week.
His decision to pit for fresh inters nearly worked out, but not just. And we're now going to do the XRL tradition of inviting the top 3 to the podium interview. So could you do that for me, please, Speed? I'll have a word with the drivers.
Right, top 3, so that's Pasty. I's the best was second, wasn't it?
Best, then it was Craig Senna.
Yeah, I's the best. I's the best, my friends.
Oh my god.
So, Paul Pasty, we've taken another one, which I find I's the best. You seem, how do you put this, calm and relaxed and pretty happy.
No, I almost lost it on the last corner because I should have pitted on lap 24, but I saw Thingy was staying out. Then he went for, I'll get a gap here, but came too close in the last.
Where's the other guy? Where's Coop?
Yeah, I'm here.
There we
Too close.
go. I's the best second. Right, then Porn Pasty. Again, I have to say that name. So your second race in XRL, your second race win in a row, but it wasn't as dominant as Australia, was it? How were the conditions out there when the rain came?
Oh, I found that good actually. Helped me.
Did you have more Well, when you qualified, suggest you had the grip on the intermediate tyres. You had some late pressure fires, the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I'm surprised you hung on to that, to be honest.
Well, congratulations on your victory. Hope you can carry on for the third race of China next week.
Thanks.
I was going to get the best in. We finished in second place, but now we go to Craig Senna, your very first race in XRL. Came in as a reserve, and he's left.
That's all
Oh, he's
good.
got
Overcome with emotion. He's overcome with emotion.
He's got a bit shy.
Let's invite him again. No, he's lost connection completely.
Yeah, he's got offline.
Meantime, I will speak with
You've got Eyes the best.
finishing in second place. Now, your race right at the end, you were fighting with Asian Pasty.
Yeah.
And then, what was it? 3 laps to go. You pitted for fresh tyres. I thought immediately it was going to be for wets, and then you would catch him back up. But it was for fresh inters, and it nearly paid off.
One more corner and he would have had me.
One more corner, yep.
I tried to force him into pitting as well. My tyres absolutely gone. They were trying to get me to pit 2 laps earlier than I did. And I just thought I'd try and force him into pitting as well, because I was struggling to get past him, to be honest.
We used
How
to
was
the
the-
pit on lap 24. Quickly.
How was the rest of the race for you? Eyes the best, because I saw you battling throughout the field at the beginning of the race. So
Yeah. I'm pleased with second. To be honest, I thought I'd finish 4th, 5th, because the setup I was trying out I was just struggling. But surprised to see myself in second, and then even more surprised to see me catch him up. And then we had some good battles on track, and I thought I was going to take him at some points, but he'd get the DRS back down the other straight and take me back, and it was like to and fro.
Speed, could you invite Craig Senna into the party, please, when he
Good
comes
race
back on?
though.
Yes.
Yeah, mate.
It was a very good race, and another good race from following on from Australia. In a way, almost better than Australia in terms of drama and excitement. And there is Craig Senna, who finished on his debut in XRL, brought in as a reserve. You will be, and again he leaves.
Wait, what car will he be?
He will be
Full-time?
in.
He'll be
a
full-time in Sauber
Ferrari,
next
isn't it?
week. No, he's in Sauber
Ferrari,
next
isn't it?
week.
Oh, is he?
But for this week, for Craig Senna, next week will be Sauber. But for today, it's Williams.
Yeah.
Today it's Williams because he was replacing with Rimpo. Yeah, that is right.
Yes.
I think maybe he is just overcome with emotion. He doesn't want to speak with me at the moment. He just keeps on coming on and coming back offline. So,
He's
a good
not
race,
sure what
a
to
good
do,
race
he's,
all round. It was good to watch, good to commentate on, and Asian Pasty, good race. What can you expect for China next week?
I'm not going to say anything because I said I was going to do crap today, but I actually won. So I'll just...
You are still live on stream, so please do not speak any particular words that may harm.
Okay.
Yeah, carry on.
No, that's it, pretty much.
Well, unfortunately, we weren't able to speak to Craig Senna, but that was a good race by him as well. Good race by all. It was entertaining. So we will leave you with the thought that we got China next week, 50% as per usual. In Tier 6, my name's been BHA Captain Waiter. Thank you for your help in commentary F1 Speed.
Very welcome as usual, waiter.
Okay. And we will both see you viewers next week for China. Next.
So what can you expect in Season 7 from the Excite Racing League? Unrivaled coverage from all 7 leagues we run, from F1 right down to Tier 6 and the F1 Classics. Watch live streams on race nights, as well as the Sunday night pre-show. New multi-twitch means that you can watch 2 league races or points of view at once. Watch our league races on YouTube a few days after the race for non-Flash users, mainly iPad and iPhone users. Watch clips from the forums, such as overtakes of the week and any other uploads from league races directly put onto our forum page for you to watch. Join the forum discussion. Give your pre and post race analysis, as well as all the talking points from your league races, real life F1, and get to learn to know more of the community. So what are you waiting for? Watch League XRL and get the inside track. Do you want to enhance your XRL racing experience? Sign up to Premium today to receive 800 Microsoft points from XRL Gamertag and join the ever-growing community. An ad-free forum with a members area and additional features such as extended private messaging limits. Every stream uploaded to members' forums from F1 to F5000 and XRL Classics. A custom signature on the XRL forum of your choice. All new setup lap guides from F1 drivers such as Velocity, F1 Nige and Mr. Ice Cold Andy. Monthly prize draws with big prizes from sponsors such as GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Pick the car you want next season with XRL Driver Priority. Premium members get to pick their car ahead of the driver draws. 10% off all store items and a free keyring when you sign up. So help support the league today and sign up for XRL Premium.